we discovered is years back, Mitt Romney put up $10 million in seed money for a private equity firm for his family. And that firm was in partnership with Hig Capital, a larger firm. And then Hig Capital, in July 2011, bought up the second largest voting machine company in the United States, and that is Hart Intercivic. So Romney's partners, investment partners, which include people who worked with him at Bain Company, where he was CEO, and two are major fundraisers for Romney. They now control the board at Hart Intercivic. Essentially, it's a wholly owned subsidiary of Hig Capital. And more importantly, they will be counting the votes in Hamilton County, which is the key swing county in Ohio. So as Hamilton goes, so goes Ohio, so goes America. This is a clear conflict of interest to have a presidential candidate with a partnership in a company that owns a vote counting machine company, Hart Intercivic. Hamilton went for Obama in 2008 and for Bush in 2004. So generally, as Hamilton goes, whoever wins Hamilton wins Ohio. Whoever wins Ohio wins, particularly Republicans, wins the United States. No Republican president has ever lost Ohio and won the presidency.
The top question would be, well, wait, what is the Democrats doing about it?
Well, the Democrats are in an active campaign to deny it because they're afraid if the information goes out, it will depress their voters. When they should be doing the exact opposite. What they usually do is they call us conspiracy theorists. The problem they have now is Forbes.com, a Forbes magazine, is on our side, has documented this. Investors Daily News of Wall Street and Business Insider of Wall Street have also verified it, as has the UPI. So the conspiracy now, which involves the major components of Wall Street, is getting a little large even for the Democratic and Republican parties to assure that the votes are safely counted. The conspiracy is massive, in their words. So they're in huge trouble now. How do you explain that a company directly tied to your presidential candidate is counting the votes secretly? They can't get around that. 50,000 people at change.org have sent a petition to the Attorney General's office. Move On has sent petition, as has Credo. People are outraged because the official, the major propaganda lie that's gone out from the Washington Post, the Plain Dealer, is that it doesn't matter. All they did was buy some old voting machines. And this came from a Miss Cersei. She is the supervisor of the Hamilton County Board of Election. She also is the vice chair of the Republican Party in Hamilton County, which apparently the Washington Post forgot to ask her. But she's a well-known community activist. She just got done going to a Tea Party rally to recruit Tea Party members to be poll workers. And she's also been busy as well. She sent out 225,000 incorrect postcards telling people to vote in the wrong districts. So she's been busy lately, but apparently the Washington Post hasn't learned of the high-tech investigative source known as Google. Cersei is the director in Hamilton County, and she says, what's the big deal? You know, we bought these machines 5 years ago. Romney and his friends only bought the company in July of 2011. Well, here's the big deal. It's not just that Hart Intercivic owns the voting machines. Hard Inner Civic out of Austin, Texas, has the contract to program and maintain the machines, including the vote counting tabulation, according to Hamilton County records. We anticipated the standard lies told by election officials, particularly when this stuff is uncovered. They'll always say there's not a problem. And we also anticipated that papers like the Washington Post have forgotten how to ask for a public record. They used to do this in the Watergate period. They simply assumed public officials were lying. Now they assume they're telling the truth, and they don't follow up. So back in April, we requested all the contracts in the state of Ohio. And in May, we got one from Hamilton County saying, who will program our computers? Hard Inner Civic. Who will program the tabulators that count the vote? Hard Inner Civic. So Ms. Cersei is involved in this huge lie that it's no big deal. We just bought some, they're just some old machines. And what she's not telling people is they're actively, and non-transparency, the courts have ruled that their source code, their programming, is proprietary and secret. They'll also be programming the computers and programming the software that tabulates the vote. My favorite lie is that 2 Dems and 2 Republicans are at the Hamilton County Board of Elections, and they're doing all the programming. Generally, I know these people. The people that are appointed to the Board of Elections are what we call party hacks. Party regulars. They're there because of their profound skill of kissing butt of major party bosses, not because they have computer skills. They're virtually, massively ignorant. Most of them don't know how to turn a computer machine on. To pretend that these people have the same skill level as Hard Inner Civic. Now, in Ohio, we have the Everest study. The Everest study says that the single worst machines used in Ohio are Hard Inner Civic. There are 12 major points of vulnerability in these computers. There's only one company, now invested in by Mitt Romney, that fails all 12, that comes out with a 0, that is absolutely, totally vulnerable even to handheld devices. And that, by God, is Mitt's great investment in Hard Inner Civic. And our friend, Ms. Cersei down there in Hamilton County, has announced that she'll allow people to bring their iPads into the polling booth with them. And of course, academic scholars, and you can read this at places like Princeton, MIT, but particularly in the Everest study, have said that they interface with the computer and that handheld devices can actually change the votes. So why she would allow people to come in with devices that can hack the vote, which she recruited from the Tea Party, is anyone's guess. I suspect because she believes that the voters in Hamilton County shouldn't make the decision, that the decisions of who should be president are too important to her personally to allow the voters of Hamilton County to decide.
So what can people do about this? Should they stay home and forget about it?
No, they should do the exact opposite. Number one, they should demand that the ballots be counted by hand, or at least a random cross-section, say 25% of them, are immediately audited, and nobody knows what that audit randomly would be. So there's ways to, in fact, to guarantee, and if the audit goes bad, the random audit, you would count every vote on paper. There's an obvious solution. The Hard Inner Civic machines that are being used in Hamilton County and in about 10 million other places actually are OptiScans. All you have to do is count the paper. I'm pretty sure that even Democrats, and I speak here not as a Democrat, but I believe Democrats could actually count the checked boxes. Not that hard to figure out how to do this. You count the paper. So yeah, I mean, there's solutions to this. The solution is not to get depressed. The solution is to be outraged. The problem here is for-profit private companies that are raising funds for any of the presidential candidates should not be secretly counting the vote.